Hello, hello. Hello, Justin Iola, Jonathan, Jasmine. I do believe I saw Krusty a minute ago. Yep, Krusty Molek. What would make you choose the name Molek? Sound is good. Excellent. There's a few of us here. Krusty, I've been going through the download. I have been going through the Excel spreadsheet. I don't know if I'm able to do it. But because it's fixed and because none of that data will ever change on all the seasons, I'm thinking about going over here to Office Depot. I don't know if they can print that into because I have plenty of 3-ring binders, plastic dividers. This would be so much easier than you looking all this stuff on computer. It'd be so much easier for me if I just had it. I'm just a hands-on guy. I can go through Chronicon back and forward in time with the paper copies. I'm not very good with trying to go back and forth in Excel sheets and PDFs and Microsoft Word documents. I have 3 screens, but it's not good for marshaling data like that. When I can just flip through something real fast in a 3-ring binder, I'm wondering if I'm going to be able to do that. Print this up. If not, I'll make do, but sure would be easier on me. Agent Smith, what are y'all talking about? All right. So I'm going to pull up my little PSYFR file on the methods, the little procedures we'll be using. If I can locate it real quick. I got 1,000 files over here. Oh, here it is. No, those are the new operations. This should be it. All right. So we eliminated one of those methods of prediction because it was all too similar to another one. So we had 8 and we eliminated one and it brought us down to 7. Am I correct about that? Let's see. Okay. Jasmine said Crystal's trying to log in. She's trying to log in on StreamYard. Shouldn't have a problem. Okay. Okay, so to remember, we're measuring things that are in the backfield of our experience. That includes sports statistics. Protocol Prime doesn't obtain. You would never use Protocol Prime for the sports statistics unless you personally was in what you are measuring. So Protocol Prime would be today. It would be the exact date that we ran these predictions, but it's not necessary. Those are for personal and professional. This right here is going to be simply measuring the exact dates that we're going to be entering. So type 1 predictions was the simplest by far, and all we're going to be looking at in the very first method of analysis, and this would apply to any sport. Any sport with a date range that, I don't know about golf. I don't know what the frequency of golfers are. I don't know about NASCAR. Maybe NASCAR, they do race every week. I'm not sure. We already know NBA. We already know it's high frequency for Major League Baseball, hockey, soccer, the baseballs, NBA, basketball. It's all high frequency. But NFL's not. NFL is going to be every 7 days to every 8-9 days, depending upon bye weeks, depending upon how they switch scheduling. Because you're always going to have your Thursday night game. Well, most of the time you have Thursday night games. They'll switch it up and play a bunch of teams on Sunday, and then a week later they'll probably teams get switched out for the Monday night football. So NFL is it's kind of a category of its own. So Jonathan Rogers, you're talking about print format for 8.5 by 11. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Because I'll go have it printed out. Is it something that can be done with this Excel spreadsheet? Is a lot. It's a lot to search. I have to do a slide bar to go back and forth because I can't see the whole thing on a page. Even if I can minimize it to the point where it's so tiny I can't see anything. So I'm wondering, can we? Yeah, this is vast. It's good work. It's huge. But it would be so much easier if it was paper. Then again, I'm going to use this for now. I'm going to magnify that back. All right. It's a work of art. Yeah, I did see something that was kind of like I did notice that about the stadiums. I did notice about the double columns here. Huh. So anyway, we're going to start with the easiest ones. We're going to go through it, and I'm going to rely on Jonathan and Krusty and whoever to. You guys got the copy of the chart, right? Give me these dates as fast as possible. I'm going to open up a Microsoft Word document right here real quick so we can keep track of what the output's going to be for each category of predictions. Right. So that's now open. Here's all this. There's Office. I just don't have enough screens. All right. So I'm going to try something here. Let us go to the scheduling. So I'm going to see what this is going to do for me. Present, share my screen, try out this new format here. Oh yeah, how bizarre. So why would I share my screen and it would show me twice on the left margin on the I don't get that. I don't get that. Why would it give me that option if it's just going to show two little pictures of me on the left margin? That doesn't even make any sense to me. It gives me the option, but if you use it, oh, I see now. I see now. Okay. Okay, I get that. Nice, nice. NFL schedule right here. That's what we're looking at. It's the first time I've ever used this feature. Got me in the corner down there. Nice. That'll work. I'll just put this aside. That'll be my... All right. So I'll just hang out at the bottom of the screen. Hell, I got 3 screens. They're just not enough. Okay. All right. So this is the NFL schedule. I go to ESPN. It doesn't really matter where you get the game schedule from. This you see, this is September 21st. This is going to be Sunday. Thursday game, of course, is already over. We have a lineup. It should be 14 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yep, 14 games. So, on something as easy as Green Bay versus Cleveland at 12 noon, there is no reason whatsoever to recalculate. You already know by 3 p.m. the game's over. By 3:30 at the most, the game is over. It's still the same day. So it's just a straight up. It's just a straight up deal. So this is the very first method of prediction is by far the simplest. Type 1 prediction is just the last 2 times each team won. That's it. And because it's this early in the season, we're literally looking at week 3 games. So we may not have data for type 1 prediction here. They may not have we might be dealing with losers. I don't know. So is it Jonathan or Krusty or both of y'all? Can you guys provide me the exact dates of the last 2 times Green Bay won? Or to do this faster, maybe Jonathan can do Green Bay and Krusty can do Cleveland. And as soon as I have the dates, I will enter them on here instantly. And that'll be the fastest way to do it. Because if y'all are going to wait on me to go through all these charts and run PSYFR and run this software back and forth, we're going to be here till Jesus comes back. But yeah, this will be This will be a whole lot simpler. I'm probably going to play with this a lot tonight. But I do want to run through each prediction deal one time. Krusty Molek, all we're doing is type 1 prediction. And I need you to look up the last 2 times that Cleveland won. Jonathan's looking up the last 2 times Green Bay won. As I've said in the past, it sucks, guys. Data entry is the worst part about this. All right, so we're only going back this season, and we are not looking at. You do not count preseason. So there's only 2 weeks of data. Week 1 NFL, week 2 NFL. Do not give me a preseason date. So Johnson Rodgers September 1st. Here we go with that. We already ran into a complication from the beginning. So one game they won was almost toward the end of the day. The other one was after dark. So I'll be looking at the column after that too. I'll show you what I'm doing. So the first date is September 7th. Man, September 7th and September 11th. So game date is the 21st. So game date is the 21st, September 21st. We don't have much to run on, but what we do have is a hit. We don't have a hit on the 20th, and we don't have one on the 22nd, but there is a hit for the 21st. And with so little data, it's a match for the 23rd and 27th as well. So you guys can see it right here. I can't enlarge that on the screen. Where my cursor is, there is one hit on the 21st. You're not going to get a lot anyway. You only got 2 dates we've entered. But there's no hit the day before and there's no hit the day after. But there is a hit on game day. So when this is all automated, when this is an app that's automated and we're not actually doing all this, it's going to factor in all these things about time of day. It's going to also compare. Like this is a 921. This is the 11th out. This is the 11th operation out of 15 operations. This is operation 11, and it'll go through because the operations themselves are rated. So it's going to be able to do a whole lot more than we can just at face value using the software manually. So it's a pretty weak hit, but it is a hit. It is a hit. So I'm going to put that down as it's a Green Bay hit. Now, what's interesting, though, is one of the input dates for Green Bay was also after dark. So that's the beauty of looking at this system. We're looking for output data on September 21st. But because we actually got one that was after dark, a hit on September 22nd would have been acceptable. But we didn't get that. We didn't get that. So I'm just saying that this is almost because one was during the day and one was after dark, and the one that was during the day was almost the end of the day. I'm telling you now, this is a very weak hit. It is a very weak hit for Green Bay. I'm going to put that down too. I'm going to give Green Bay their 0.5 score, but in my mind, it's a little less than that. Okay, Krusty, you got the dates for Cleveland. See what Cleveland doing. Okay, what are you confused about, Krusty? All I'm looking for is the last. We're doing a type 1 prediction, so that means it's the last 2 times that Cleveland won. What are the dates that Cleveland won the last 2 times? Which would have been last week and the week before if they won it all. If they haven't won it all, you're not going to have any data. You're not going to have anything to measure at all. Which means we bypass type 1 and we go into type 2 or type 3 and type 4, because the other categories are going to allow us to analyze more data, go further back. But in a type 1 prediction, we're just going the last 2 times that either one of them won. Green Bay won both of them, so we had 2 dates. Green Bay was not 11th. Sunset needs to be considered. Yeah, you're going to have to say that better, man. Green Bay was not 11th. All right, so I got to go back and find out. Was the 11th one of the dates that he gave me? All right. He says right here, Jonathan Rogers put September 11th at 8:15 p.m. That's when the game was finished. So it's technically the next day. So yeah, let's run it that way. I think that's what Krusty's talking about there. So let's run it that way. Let's run it as if it was the next day, the 12th. See if it changes anything. On the 24th, it did. Man, I'm so glad I called that as a weak hit, because now that we ran it as the next day, it's no hit at all. It's no hit for Green Bay. Is that what you were talking about, Krusty? You're absolutely right. Yeah, you're absolutely right, because it was after dark. We just plug it in as the next day instead of looking on the chart looking for the next day. You're right. Absolutely. So what I perceive to be a really weak hit is confirmed. It's so weak that once we actually calibrated, it fell off. It's not. We have no September 21st now. So it looks like Green Bay won the first week 1. Green Bay won week 2. They could very well lose week 3. So now I need. Did anybody get the dates for the last 2 wins of Cleveland, or the last time Cleveland won, as long as it's in this NFL season, week 1 or week 2? Has Cleveland won anything? All right, yes, Cleveland lost both, almost won week 1. So okay, cool. That's all good. So what we have is a type 1 prediction, because it's this early in the season. We have no measurable data for either Green Bay or Cleveland. So I'm going to put that down. Green Bay versus Cleveland. That's a data point. That's something to remember. No data for type 1. Let's go to type 2. Type 2. And you're going to get that early in the season too. So type 2, this early in the season, it's not going to change anything. It's not going to change anything. All wins versus, hold on, all is only last 2 wins. All wins, yeah, since week 1. We're only on week 3. So type 2 is the exact same as type 1. You can't go back. We can't. There's nothing to go back into. So now we're going to be looking at the photo negative of the output of those games. Now we're going to measure the losses. So, Jonathan, I need to know the dates in this season that Green Bay lost. We're going to measure those against Cleveland's losses. This is type 3. We've already jumped to type 3. Now we're on type 3. All right. All right, let's see. Oh, I didn't know you'd already done the predictions in real time. I mean, I'm going to redo them tonight myself, but you have all the files are in the Proton drive with the predictions already done if you want to verify them in real time, faster than us telling you the dates. That's what you meant in the email. I wasn't sure what you were talking about in the email. Okay, so I download some. I think Krusty sent the this Excel spreadsheet to my email, and I just downloaded it from the email. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you now. I don't have Proton Mail. I don't know what you're talking about. A Proton Drive. Did somebody send something to me in Proton that I have to go find and download? I don't even understand it. I could bring you on screen and you could share it if you got access to it. Yeah, so let's see. So I didn't know, Jonathan, that's what you were talking about when that project you were working on. I did not know you already run through these predictions at all. I'm going back to the chart to see if I missed something. All right, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to send you a link, Jonathan, because I don't know what you're talking about, man. You got to understand when I run predictions, I'm doing it. I'm doing this by myself. I got paperwork, I got spreadsheets, calculator, PSYFR, and we're in unexplored territory here. Oh, that's not going to work that way. I've got to actually send you an invite link. Hold on. Let's see, invite link. See if you can come on screen with me. All right. I'm going to move. I got all this stuff I got to move just to find my email. All right. All right, let's see here. You said you went to Arcades Live. There you are. All right. Invite link is away. Well, let me exit out of all this. Come bring him on screen. Yeah, man, that chart in Proton is huge. I'm gonna have to print that up. I'm waiting. All right, Jonathan has entered the studio. Let's see here. Jonathan has entered the studio. Oh, let me. There we go. That's much better. Jonathan has entered the studio. Let me. I do hear a little feedback.
Want me to turn something down?
I do hear a little feedback.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah. Okay, here, just a sec.
That's okay.
How about now?
I don't know. So I was not aware that you guys had already done the predictions. I thought all this time you were working on the actual back history chart. I was not aware that you guys had already done the predictions. I thought all this time you were working on the actual. Are we having technical difficulties? You got to turn your mic on.
Okay. I'm getting feedback, so I'm trying to turn off something to stop the feedback.
Okay. I'm getting feedback, so I'm trying to turn off something to stop the feedback. Do you have a headset?
Yeah.
Do you have a headset?
Yeah.
Do you have a headset? Yeah. Yeah, you got some really weird feedback. It's on a loop. I literally heard myself say, "Do you have a headset?" 4 times now. You got some really weird feedback. It's on a loop. I literally heard myself say, "Do you have a headset?" 4 times now. Yeah, I think you got 2 mics running, just
Can
like
you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you, and there's no more feedback. Well, it took the Nestea plunge. Yeah, the running the chart's easy to do when you do it by yourself on your own time. Ordinarily, I'm going back and forth looking at ESPN scheduling to see all the game dates and all that. The chart was to make it simpler. But this chart is a monolith. I didn't realize it was going to be that much. I might try to have mine printed out. I can have 3 people on a screen, Krusty, but no one's going to be able to see anything. Let's see. Do you want to, Krusty? You want to come on or what? Want me to send you a link? All right, let's see. Email me real quick to archaicslive@gmail. We'll wait on Jonathan. All right, let me check my email for him, see if he's popping in. I think Jonathan popped back in too. Krusty, I still don't have an email from you. Oh, there it is. Never mind. All right, Krusty, I just sent that to you. See, Jonathan came back with a vengeance.
Does it work now?
I can hear you now. Fine.
Is there feedback?
No feedback.
All right. I don't know what happened.
I don't know. It could be bad connection. Where are you in Australia, right?
No, I'm in Nova Scotia.
Oh, you're in Nova Scotia, right? You're in far eastern Canada?
Yeah. Yeah, we're up above Boston.
Krusty's the one in Australia or New Zealand, right?
Yeah. All right.
So when he gets here, he's gonna pop in here in a minute. So I totally misunderstood. I was kind of wondering why, because you guys kept telling me hold on for some days, and I'm thinking, damn, I thought you guys were just doing the back histories, putting all this together, and now it makes sense. I didn't know y'all actually did the back histories and then ran the predictions for the week. I had no idea.
Yeah, Krusty took all the data and created the spreadsheets, and then half a dozen of us volunteered and went through the data and cross-referenced it to NFL reference.com. I think that's what it's called. And you go through there. I'll post a link to that as well. You can go through there and double check all the game scores and get all the up-to-date data you need for even yesterday. So we cross-reference that with the files spreadsheets that Krusty made, and made sure that the adjustments were made for the sunset. Krusty did up a calculation.
Right.
It's way complicated for me. And so he made them per team, per year, and we verified them, and then he put them into an OFIS file that was the top 6. So if you go into the Proton drive, do you have that open?
I don't even know how to get
into the Green Bay Packers file.
I don't even know how to get to the Proton. Where is a Proton drive?
The link is in the YouTube chat. I'll put it in there again. So it's at the beginning of the feed there.
Oh, it's in the chat here.
So in the YouTube chat, I just posted it. That's the link to the Proton drive that Jasmine made.
Okay. There's the man right there.
Krusty. How's it going?
Hello. Can you hear me?
I hear you fine. Perfect.
Jason, if you want, we could. Crap.
We can hear you.
Why am I hearing myself?
You may not need those headphones because we can hear you perfectly clear. We can hear you. We can hear you great.
How about now?
Yeah, no feedback. It's perfect.
Okay, that's weird. If you want, you could strip almost all those columns. Really, what's the important data you need? You need the you only need the column, the year, the match, the round, the dates. And you don't really need the location, city.
No, I really don't need those. Yeah, I saw that there was the kind of double column there. It just took up space.
Well, location is the stadium they're playing in, and the location city is the city that the stadium's in, which I needed and able to get the sunset date.
Ah, I see. Let's see. All right. Yeah, so you guys, so Jonathan, I'm really baffled here. So there's supposed to be a link to something Proton that I'm able to access in the chat somewhere.
Yeah, isn't it? I'll email it back to you.
Is that
it's not in the chat. You emailed it to me.
No, it is in the chat, but it might, I don't know if it got delayed or lost or something. I emailed you the link to the Proton drive. If you go in there, you will see all of the work that you're looking for.
Okay. Let's do it. Let me go to this email real quick.
All of the work that you're looking
You're not talking about the same email that I downloaded the Excel spreadsheet, are you?
I'm not sure. I just sent you an email back. That's the link to the Proton drive.
Are
You might recognize some of that information.
Is that Jasmine's drive?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Jason, I spit out 192 OFIS files.
Okay.
That had all the data we needed. Then Jonathan took those and made specific OPH files for the type purposes. So you literally can open the OPH file in OFIS, and all the dates are going to be there. You don't have to enter any dates.
Okay, so the reason I'm unfamiliar with this, I've never used Proton, and the link that Jasmine just gave me is requiring all kinds of security on my end. I gotta create a.
It's public. You shouldn't have to create anything.
Well, it's making it Proton Drive. Literally, I tried to download it, and it sent me to a where I gotta.
You don't have to download it. It should just be your browser.
This is so bizarre.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah, Jasmine just sent the Proton Drive deal to me. It says PSYFR NFL.
Do you see the email I sent?
Yeah, this is requiring me to start a Proton account and everything in order to do that.
Weird.
So this is I don't know what this is. What's going on here? I've never used Proton. When I tried to download it just now, it told me to create a username and a password.
Okay. Maybe it works because we already had them. Just a sec. I'll put it in my Google Drive that I used to put the baseball one in.
Let's see. So go ahead and Krusty, what were you talking about?
Well, Jonathan, you created all the type OPH files from the ones I created, correct?
Correct. You took them and combined all the seasons for me, and then I took all the type 1 database sets, and I copied that and deleted everything from the first 5 seasons, and then I created 2 more E-series for losses this season, wins this season, last 2 wins, and last 2 losses. So I added on a bunch of other E-dates and used those to produce all the types of predictions that you want to do onto one file.
So how about you guys share the file? I can give you the screen so everybody can see it.
That might be more powerful. Maybe Jonathan, because you've already been working with it, maybe share your screen, and then after a few goes, once Jason sees what's going on, then you could just hand it back over.
Yeah, I'm just if you want to, I'm just going to do my update the files into the Google Drive so that Jason can see them. Just making sure I'm moving the right ones here. Copy.
So do you know how to share your screen, Jonathan?
No, not yet.
There's a plus on a screen at the bottom.
Yeah, there's a little plus sign on the screen at the bottom.
On the StreamYard screen, the plus present, yeah. Image share screen. Sharing screen is easiest to do. Yes, screen.
Jason, if you need screen space, I can drop off.
No, that's all right.
No, I meant if Jason needs the screen space for the viewers to see, I can drop off.
Well,
or can we be stacked on the side like you get stacked, Jason, in the lower left corner?
It'll stack 2 people. It won't stack 3. Yeah, it'll do.
Oh, there we go.
Maybe it will. Maybe it will.
It did. I see 3.
Okay, well, Jonathan, if you share your screen, you should pop up. You should take over the whole screen here.
It's asking me to log into. Do I need to log in?
No, don't worry about it.
Stream this to your audience. It says. I click on it and it says sign in or log out. Because I don't have an account, maybe. Just a second here. Gotta go through all the clicks.
I'm just experimenting right now, seeing how this. There it goes. Oh, he just took off. All right. Yeah, this the nightmare. He entered back in studio. The nightmare for this has always been not using the system, but data entry. Finding all the damn dates that you gotta insert. This has always been the nightmare with this.
Okay, so present, share screen. Select window or screen. Oh,
so
okay.
You have if you hit the little screen with the plus sign, it's going to give you a menu. On that little oh, there you go. You're already doing it.
Really?
It. Yeah, you're already doing it. There you go, right there.
All right, so Proton Drive. This is the link I emailed it to you, but I'll do a Google one for just a second here. Just let me create an NFL one here for Google, and then I'll be ready. It's high pressure when everybody's watching.
Oh, it ain't nothing, man. We're
okay. So I got a file here.
Man, listen. Don't even be intimidated. You got people in their underwear. You got people who are in the middle of doing house chores. You got people who got a hood up somewhere and they got the motor running and they're going back and forth from their computer trying to tweak on an engine. Believe me, man, I've been doing this for a long time. I already know.
That's right. I've been listening to everything a couple hours after, so I get to pause it and yeah. Okay, so it should be uploading into, let me just share this link. It's our first time anyway, right? We'll get this figured out. Anyone with the link, copy link. Okay, I'm going to post it in the YouTube. Paste. Should be there now. Done.
I don't know what you're trying to do, so I just can't.
Yeah, Jonathan, he wants you to open the file in Office. Share your screen, Office.
Yeah. Okay, so Green Bay Packers right here. You can see that. So we have all the wins. It's just loading.
What team is this?
This is Green Bay Packers. See up top here? Green Bay Packers accurate up to September 16th. So we've got the last 2 wins, or the wins this season, is the ones basically what we're running right now.
You have the 8th. How come you have the 8th?
The 8th because the time of day that the game ended.
So the game was played on the 7th?
It was the 7th at 4:25 Eastern.
So yeah, the game ended after dark.
The 7th, 4:25 Eastern.
Does that make sense?
Well, this is far more complicated than I anticipated doing this on the screen. What I'm going to end up doing is spending the rest of the night just running all these predictions myself. It's nothing personal, but it's in order for me to understand something on in a chart, I just have to do it myself. I mean,
okay. So here's what I did for.
Because I don't even recognize your chart. None of you tailor made that chart with the output. Yeah, the
well, I just took all the the wins and I put them into this E9. These are the wins that they've had this season.
Okay, all right. So I see. Okay, I am seeing what you did. So you use the E column and you build, and this is your output column.
Correct. Yeah. So all of these E's correspond to the template or to the prediction types that you have.
Okay.
Right. So type 1 is only the last 2 wins. So if you look at this here, we'll show you type 1 is E10, the last 2 wins. Type 2 is E9. Type 3 is E11 and vice versa.
Right. So you did find that because it's so early in the season, there's really no difference between type 1 and type 2, right? At this juncture right now.
Exactly. I did this chart up for every team, home and visiting, for all of the games that are for the week 3. And almost all of them, the top 4 types were basically half data or no data.
Okay.
So for Green Bay, for example, as you were looking up, there was no data for the last 2 wins and the wins since week 1, the wins since, or the last 2 losses and the losses. There just isn't enough data to create a chart. But if you were to go into E7, let me show you here. So
yeah, I see that. I can see that now because type 3 is no different than type 1 and type 2 because it's too early in the season.
Correct.
I got it.
So E7 is all the wins since the beginning of last season. So basically, I just took the E1 data set, I duplicated it, and then deleted everything that was before the beginning of last season.
Right.
It's way faster than just putting them all in one at a time.
I got you. So you did omit preseason, right?
Absolutely. It's like it wasn't even included in the original data set.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, that's gonna F you up bad.
So if you looked at each one of these, I mean, some of these E groups aren't necessarily used for predictions, but they are used as a good check source. And when I made my Excel spreadsheet to track them, I originally was putting them over here on some of them. And then I realized it was just a duplication, because if you're looking at the opposite inverse of the last 2 wins, you look at those dates and say, okay, well, those were losses, and do those correlate with what I'm expecting to happen tomorrow?
Okay, so let me ask you this. How long did it take you to go through type? I understand type 1, 2, and 3. It's too early in the season to get actionable data. How long did it take you to do all 7 prediction types?
By the time I finished the last game, I was doing, I think, 20 minutes per team to go through and double check to make sure that my wins were updated and my losses were updated. So probably 20 minutes per team. The hard part really is just going on here and doing all this typing, like typing in right here the 1300 hours and then the Cleveland and then the Green Bay, and making sure that that's accurate against the NFL reference page, like 20 minutes per team. But now that that's done, like for the Bills that just won yesterday, I went in and I opened up my Bills file. I just updated because they won. I updated E1, E3, E7, E9, and E10. I added the date for those, and then I was going to the Miami Dolphins, and I opened up the Miami Dolphins, and I updated their loss. So you go on to each E group, and you just increase, or not increase. You just add the new date, and obviously it changes everything. So went down here, look, 1919. That's what happened last night, and then in theory, I would say, okay, well, this week they're playing whoever they're playing, the Bills, if this is the Bills, the Miami Dolphins. So you just put a new sheet on here and update the new sheet. And then when you updated what Green Bay did, you would make a new sheet for them, for whoever they're playing with.
Okay, so basically what you just told me was this is like about a 4.5 hour process for you as a first time to actually run this.
Yeah. Well, I deleted some of my first files, but if I look at the timestamp that I created the files, from the very first one was make sure they're in the right order. 5 p.m. Till 8. 2 days, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay. So
I think I started on Wednesday morning here, the 18th. 17th I started. So
manually, yeah. You doing this? I told you doing this manually. It's something else. Back when Barry and I were getting along and we were running NFL, he chose his team, I chose mine, and that's all we did. We just ran predictions only on the team we were following, and win or lose, whatever that team was. Trying to run them on all 15 games, sometimes 16 games, it is exhausting. The app will be able to do it in real time instantly, but manually, pardon my French, but manually it's a bitch. There's no doubt.
100%.
So I'm curious, what is the final output for all 7? I understand the first 3 tiers didn't produce anything, but for all 7 prediction types, what is the final output in the ratings for head to head to each team against each team?
Can you see this screen?
Yeah, it's kind of small to me. I have to blow my own screen up to see it. I can see it now. Yeah, I can see it now because I got a touch screen. I just blow it up, but I don't think they can see it.
Okay. Well, they'll have to go into the Proton drive and pull up there's a copy of it. If anybody who has Proton, if they don't, you can go into the Google one.
Now, the Proton drive link, somebody just said it was in the Telegram group too, right?
Yep. Okay.
That's what I'm going to go to get it. I'm going to go get it from the Telegram group after this video is over. I can see yours right now.
Do you have the Google one?
I haven't even looked at my email since you started showing the chart.
Okay. If somebody wants to repost that, I'm scared to turn my screens around here. And if you see the,
I can see it really well. I can see it really well.
Okay. So I ran all the predictions, did all the number crunching. Obviously, there's some there's some discernment when it comes to the time. And I just, honestly, I make a quick decision. I look at it, and if the game starts after 4 p.m., I move the game input date to the next day.
Yeah, that's a smart thing to do because really 4 p.m. is the end of that. The whole day's over with anyway. Even by 4 p.m., the whole day's over with.
Yeah, and I got to realizing that the input change that it makes is so minute that if it's going to be that close, that 1 or 2 days make the decision, then you shouldn't even be taking that bet into consideration. you want something that's clear and decisive, like
Right.
if you look at this is Miami Dolphins. We shouldn't use them because they just played yesterday. The Packers, we'll open them up. Is that who you were looking at, or the Cleveland Browns? So you want decisive numbers. That's going to come in the reevaluation stage, I think, if we get to moving the weights of different algorithms or adjusting that feedback system. That
Okay, well,
might be,
look, just keep it simple. In between the first two teams we looked at just now,
yeah,
Green Bay and Cleveland.
yes.
So we have Green Bay right here, and we have Cleveland, and you have, let's see, E11 hit twice.
2 points on Cleveland, yeah. So if you come down here, E11. Look at that. So we should move that to the 8th.
The game's the 21st, so there's no hit on the 21st.
That's correct. Yeah.
Jason, Jonathan, didn't you post your list of the outcomes of all this data entry? Yeah.
I did, yeah.
And you're 1 for 1 because in the first game.
So far. But the Bills versus the Dolphins is the odds. It was my bookie was paying 1.08 on the dollar for Buffalo to win. So that spread is so big that it would, in theory, would have been disqualified out of the process if you use the NBA rules.
Yeah, but from a pure, how did the prediction go? That's good data.
Yeah, I can bring that up if you want to review that.
Even though you wouldn't have bet on it, it was still an accurate prediction by the software.
Yeah,
which is what matters to me, not really the idea of gambling.
So if somebody was just strictly trying to gamble, they wouldn't employ this method. If all they were interested in gambling, the best bet for a gambler was to find a game, is to find out of 15 games in a week. Actually, it's the spread that will decide for you which ones you'll be running the algorithm on. You understand? Because when Vegas gives a very small spread between two teams, that means they're really unsure who's going to win. They're going to favor one because they have to. They're going to favor somebody, but they might only favor them with 2.5 points or 3.5 points, and that's kind of like an admission by Vegas that they're not quite sure who's going to win this game. So the best way is, because it's not exhausting when you cherry pick out of 15 games, when you cherry pick the 1 or 2 games that have the lowest spreads, and you just go all out and just run the algorithm, all 7 tiers around those 2 games, that's what a gambler would do. They wouldn't sit here and just exhaust themselves going through the entire list. You understand? What you did is exhausting. It's exhausting. But I mean, it's necessary. Now when the app is fully developed, it's going to do all this for you. None of this will have to be done by you. It's all.
Yeah, it had to be done the first time so that it could be.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to do it too. I'm going to exhaust myself too. I'm going to go through it too. It's see, and then compare notes with you. But I also will practice exclusions though. When I'm finally done, I will look at the spreads, and there's automatically games I will dismiss. Like I would never even consider this because of the spread. You understand that it's there are the process of elimination. The same thing I do with the NBA. There are some games that there's just no way in hell I would ever even try to wager anything on this type of game. I'll automatically remove it from consideration. Now, when I find any games where the spread is small, and yet PSYFR is hitting everything on the underdog, and it's overwhelming. Like we go through, let's just say 4, 5, or 6 of the 7 tiers are all hitting on the underdog. I'm going to go with that over the Vegas spread. If Vegas is saying the other team's going to win, but they're only giving them 2.5 or 3.5 points, I'm certainly going to go with the underdog if PSYFR is hitting all the tickets. You understand?
Yeah. This is the result of all of these scorecards.
Okay, yeah, let's look at that. Let's look at that list. So this is week 3 NFL. This is what my final output would look like too. Now, what I would do, like I did in Vegas, is I wouldn't just put the 2 teams, who was going to win, who was going to lose, but in brackets, I would put their score, because I want to keep a record of why I made that decision, who was going to win and who was going to lose. I would put that score in brackets next to each game. And the brackets concern the first number in the bracket is the first team, and the second I'll put a hyphen, and then the second number represents the second team. That way, when all the games are over, I can go in there and I can see whatever recognizable patterns there are in the rating. If certain, like, I'll give you an example. We may find by week 6 or week 7 NFL that anything that hits a 3.5 on the rating on Office is always a guaranteed win. No matter, you understand? There's gonna be patterns that emerge out of all this.
Oh, I've seen patterns already.
Yeah, if you're already finding these things doing this manual, you can only imagine how good the app is going to be.
I think if we want to do this in an easily reproducible way, I know that there's ways that you can take a bunch of different spreadsheets and link them together. So if we could make a better version of this scorecard that I made and have it link on and produce one file or one spreadsheet that auto populates with the names of the teams and the dates and the scores. If we could do that with some spreadsheet knowledge, I've seen firefighters do it. So we got enough smart people in here that could figure that out.
Huh. Interesting. So just realistically speaking, there's only a handful of us that are going to do all these tiers. So what I'm thinking about is just, you don't want to involve anybody who doesn't want to do it, because people have lives. People are busy. People are doing all kinds of things. I get it. I have the time. Apparently, Jonathan, you have the time. Maybe Krusty has the time.
I don't know where you're getting your time from, but
listen. I'm gonna tell you now. I'm very good at time management. I operate on about maybe 5 hours of sleep a night, and I got plenty of rest. I'm full of energy, but I'm pretty good at time management because I don't really have a lot of social responsibilities. I have a property. I have dogs to take care of. I got people that come and go off my property. I own the property across the street, and I got people living over there. I don't really have a life outside of what I'm doing right now because I'm very goal orientated. And you already know my last relationship kind of went south, and I'm in no hurry to get in another one. So what I'm thinking about doing right now is three or four of us submit our findings every week for NFL. You understand? Our findings are going to be slightly different because we all have our preferences when it comes to the data output, and also there's human error. There's always human error, but we can compare before the games every week. Here's Krusty's output on the games he ran. You might not run all the games. Here's Jonathan's output on the games he ran. Here's Jason's output on the games he ran. There's no obligation to run every single game, because when you obligate people to run the algorithm, to run PSYFR on all 15 games, that's 30 times you got to sit down with the software and do all that. I said, people are going to make mistakes, but when you're doing the teams you want to do, you understand? You're going to do it better you know, you're going to go through all 7 tiers. You're going to make sure you dot your I's, cross your T's. I may pick three different teams. That means there's 6 different times I got to run the software, but I'm running it. And I'm looking at the entire thing from a 360 perspective, going through all 7 prediction types. So I'm just saying, this is just an idea. And, you know, we can all submit our findings to the Telegram group, and somebody in Telegram can marshal all that. We wouldn't do it. Those of us running the system, like I'm gonna stay up late tonight doing it tonight. I got nothing else to do. So we can submit, like you can submit your final deal right here, Jonathan. You can submit it to the Telegram group. I will submit mine when I'm finished with it to the Telegram group. Krusty can do whatever. I mean, he might do 1 game, or he might want to do 10 games, whatever. He submits his. Somebody in Telegram will be responsible for taking all of our output and creating a small chart showing a comparative analysis between all our output, so people in the group can decide, hey man, check this out, I'm going to run with this right here. All three of these guys saw this and it looks real strong. Well, look, 2 of these guys are real iffy about this, and the third guy is totally a no on that. You follow me? We'll let people just decide for themselves. And there's no pressure on how much you do. It's just when you do it, you submit it to the group, and whoever's in the group assigned to marshal all that, put it together in a little spreadsheet, showing this right here is Jason. This right here is Jonathan. This right here is Krusty. This right here is whoever else wants to submit predictions for the group, because I'm going to tell you now, all this is manual. What we're doing right now is manual, and it is subject to human error. It's just there's no way around it. As much as I have tried over and over to make sure that all my output was absolutely perfect, there have been times when I was baffled when something occurred that was just defied all logic. Said, there's no way this could have happened. And then I'll go back and I'll look and I'll realize what I did wrong. It was a data input entry. I took my eyes off a column and I came back and put my eyes on the wrong column and entered in a whole bunch of dates that had nothing to do with that. I've done it before. It's easy to do. So anyway, that's what I think that would be the best way to do it. And by Wednesday night, because there's a Thursday game there. I don't know if I want to include the Thursday game because it makes people rush from Monday night, Tuesday, and then turn it in. So I might skip the Thursday game altogether on that. But by Friday or by Saturday, everybody would have their stuff in, so that by Friday night, everybody would have their stuff in, so that on Saturday, whoever's appointed in the Telegram group to put this chart together, marshaling it might be 15 of us. Who knows? 15 people might do it. And 8 people might just be looking at one team, just one team, and whoever they play, whatever it is, we can put enough data together to make this real interesting and get the output we're looking for. But I'm going to tell you now, you can't expect everybody to do 30 teams and run PSYFR through all 30 teams in 7 different prediction types. You already showed everybody it's 2 days. It's exhausting. It's exhausting.
Yeah, it would be less time to update it for sure. I think definitely dividing it up and having people look at, making sure somebody's looking at everything, just to make sure we're not making errors. But if we're all doing our own predictions, we're going to notice that there's going to be discernment with the start times and end times of the games. I know Krusty did a fair bit of work creating a calculation to adjust all of the past history games and make sure that they were all equally valued, I guess, and right. As close as Krusty can speak on that for sure. But I think the biggest thing we got to do is make sure that when people are looking at the data, they're getting it from the same place that we've all agreed upon is going to be where the data comes from.
Yeah.
Because to go through and look at this sheet and compare it to how
well, let me check this out. I know where you're going. In the app, this is what would be designed by Doug. And in the app, there would be a simple. It's almost like asking AI. Just simple, the input is your question. The input is your question. And there'll be controls on the type of question. And the program itself will instantly be able to run type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, type 5 based off a fixed data field, program field that never changes. The only thing that changes is any new input for as soon as the games are played, new input is put in there. But what I'm saying is what took you so long, 2 days, would be done in seconds with an app and with no human error. So I'm not even worried about a lot of these little data entry problems like that. I'm really thinking about what I'm really thinking about is several people being involved, and they don't have to do all 30 teams. It's ridiculous. Pick your favorite team or pick 2 or 3 NFL teams if you want to participate. Submit it to the Telegram group, and enough of us submitting these games to the Telegram group, by the end of the season, Doug and I and whoever else wants to analyze all this data, we're going to be able to see exactly what needs to be programmed into this and what needs to be removed. It's going to be more than enough.
Hey, Jonathan, that website you have on the screen.
Yeah.
If you look at all the game dates and times, it's all Eastern time. Not all those games are played in Eastern time. The problem with these websites is they give you the date and time of your time zone. So if I pull that up, it's going to give me all the date and times converted from my time zone. So you don't have the actual, they all say Eastern. Not every one of them games were played in Eastern time zone.
Yeah, ESPN does that too. If you go by the time on ESPN, it can throw you off because ESPN only gives you your time zone, not when the game's being played.
Correct. So you need the date and time of where the game is playing, which is what the data set has. Not all from Eastern time zone.
So all the new games from this year going forward, what is for everybody to know? How should we be calculating this so that we are in agreement that that's the correct way to do it?
Man. See, that's something the app would automatically do too. Would locate
So
where the game is.
Is there a reason why we're not just using the data set? I mean, we spent how many weeks validating the data?
Well, we did, but for new dates going forward.
New dates going forward.
So we've validated the data set, and that's agreed upon. But so for when I look up the games that happened yesterday, right? Like if I'm updating my sheets for next week, if I go to the scores, I come to this game. I look at the final score. It says it started at 8:15 at that stadium.
Yeah, but New York time.
At 8:15 New York time.
So was it actually played in the New York time zone?
I would assume so. If Miami played at Buffalo at that stadium, that would be the time that I would put into Office.
Yeah, that's more accurate than ESPN. Yeah.
So what was that game?
Last night's Miami Buffalo game.
Last night's Miami Buffalo. Okay, the data set says the local date and time of that game, it started at 20:15 or 8:15 p.m. On the 18th. Sunset on that day was at 7:18 p.m. So the next day should be the 19th for that game. Is that what you did? 19th?
Yeah. I'm just loading it up here.
Yeah, Tim Duffy 7. The soccer games actually soccer was very close to the NBA. I don't know if it's going to be close to NFL, but the same app that does NBA would absolutely do soccer. Game frequency has everything to do with it. And NFL, soccer and NFL, they play almost every single day.
We spent months debating and talking about the time of day and the sunset and the game start, the game ends. For the last little while, I've been thinking if it's just an event and it's rippling out, the accuracy and the measurability on this chart between this time and this time
is negligible.
Well, you're looking for a ripple or an energy signature of an event. So yeah, it is kind of negligible when you think about it that way, because when you look at what the prediction was for the 18th, right? If you were to back engineer this and back test it per se, of course it's slow as all get out.
Anytime I'm unsure, I'll default forward.
Yeah.
Just default. I will look at like if the output was for the 20th, like you see the 19th here as a score of 23. See that? So if I'm really unsure exactly where that was going to land, I'm not going to stress over it. I'm going to look at the 19th and I'm going to look at the 20th, and then I'm going to go look at the other team and see. And I just might be surprised. There may not be anything at all for the 20th on the other team, but this team has the 19th and the 20th, so I just run with it. Sometimes it's a judgment call. Sometimes you just don't quite know. Just like earlier when Krusty noticed that one team finished during the daytime, the other team finished after dark. Therefore, we had to. What I was doing was defaulting forward to the very next day, but instead, the more popular way was to go ahead and change the date on the input because it was after dark. But because the game frequency, these games are so close together right now, it really wouldn't change on the output. It'd still be the next day.
Yeah, it's you just get more used to kind of seeing how it reacts.
Yeah, see, whatever that date is right there, September 21st right here. See, that's a date I would really be interested in. September 21st, because it's got 2 MSRF hits, it's got 2 separate. Yeah, it's got 2 separate MSRF hits, and of course it hits a bunch of the operations hit it, but it's got 2 MSRF hits. Just having one's enough to get my attention, but to have 2, yeah, I would definitely go with September 21st is a big date for whoever whatever's being measured.
Buffalo Bills. So just to kind of, like I said, it should be something that should be clear. Like this for September 21st is 11.25. Yeah. And when you look at the data set that all the winds create, you can back engineer it and back test it. I don't know why it's painfully slow though. So 27th, I don't know why. Just gonna turn these off. But if you're gonna save yourself time tonight, instead of going through and looking up every one of these dates and inputting them all for your teams, just go in the Google Drive and copy the file down and just double check it. It'll be way faster to double check the accuracy than it will be to input it all yourself.
I get it. So I'm more interested in finding anything that's absolutely not working than I am trying to do predictions on every single game. My end goal is app development. So, but I know that there's some people who are participating in PSYFR who want to run predictions for whatever reason. Maybe they want to gamble. I don't know. But for them, the best method whatsoever if somebody wanted to do that, was to actually look at all 15 games every week, or all 16 games every week, except for bye weeks, whatever, and look at whatever games have the lowest spreads, because those are the ones that Vegas is the most unsure of, and run the shit out of those games. Everything, go through all seven predictions types on those games there, and that would be so much less work than trying to run all 30 games like you just did.
Yeah,
I'm not much of a gambler. When you say low spread, right? When I look at odds, I see head to head, 1.07 and say 2.62.
Yes.
And then you've got another spread that shows some sort of points, negative this and plus that. What spread are you always referring to?
Okay, over under. Oh, I'm talking about, check this out. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about here. I'm going to go back to ESPN. This is the national deal here. It's going to tell you ESPN's a real good. It tells you pretty much exactly what Vegas is thinking, and they're right 71% of the time, no doubt. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen real quick, so you guys are gonna get shoved to the side.
Does Jonathan have to stop his, or can you boot it?
No, I got it. I got it. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you exactly for the week. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not really a gambler either. I don't have any interest in gambling. But I do know the best way to do it using the system. So I'm sharing my screen. Let me get in here too. You should be able to see this. Yep. Now you probably can't. So the very first one is Green Bay versus Cleveland. Okay. Right here, the very first lineup on September 21st, Sunday, Green Bay versus Cleveland. So I'm going to go all the way over here. This is the line. This is called the line. Do you see the middle of the screen where it says line? GB is Green Bay, -7.5. You see that?
Yes.
This means that Vegas believes that this is the negative means that Green Bay is favored. So if you take Green Bay on any betting on Vegas, you're taking Green Bay, but you're giving up 7.5, which is a touchdown and half a point. You're giving that up. This means Green Bay is favored. The negative means that if you take them, they're favored. If it's a plus sign, then that means that's how much they're giving you to take that team. But in this case, they think Green Bay is going to beat Cleveland. So if you take Green Bay on the Vegas line and you bet whatever you bet, you're also giving up 7.5 points, which is one touchdown and a half a point. So going down here, here's Indiana. Same thing. They think Indiana's going to beat whoever Indiana's playing. Indiana is playing Tennessee. Vegas believes that Indiana's going to win that game, but they don't believe it. They don't believe it as much as they think Green Bay is going to beat Cleveland, because they're giving less than a touchdown. They're only giving 4.5 points. And here's the ones I'm talking about: Minnesota and Pittsburgh. These are the ones you concentrate on. These are the ones you win a lot more money on when you bet, because the spread is minimized. They're really unsure. So they've got Minnesota winning, but it's only a 2.5 on the spread. So they believe that Minnesota is going to beat.
And that was how the experiment in Vegas went for NBA. Looking at those,
absolutely. Yes,
the
plus and the minus signs tell you who the favored team is. And then I ran PSYFR on 120 games, the same 120 games that they give the spreads on. But by the process of elimination, I eliminated all the ones that had like 5.5 or higher in the spread, because in NBA, a 5.5 spread is very different than a 5.5 spread in NFL. Because in NBA, every basket is 2 points, unless it's a penalty and it's a one-pointer. You understand? So the spread's different. 5.5 in NBA doesn't mean the same thing as 5.5 in NFL. In NFL, 5.5 isn't shit. It's not even a touchdown. It's not even a touchdown. So what you're looking at here is Cincinnati and Minnesota. So let's go look over here. When it comes to Cincinnati and Minnesota, right here, it says Minnesota negative 2.5. So if you want to go with what the house is predicting, they're predicting Minnesota to beat Tennessee. So if you go with Minnesota, you got to give up 2.5 points. But because that's less than a field goal, that's the one that you run PSYFR on. The next one, Pittsburgh. You got to take Pittsburgh. If you take Pittsburgh, you're giving up 1.5. That's the one you run on. But these other ones like 6.5, Tampa Bay, now if they're willing to give up 6.5, which is almost a touchdown, they're pretty confident Tampa Bay is going to beat whoever they're playing.
Yeah,
New York.
Buffalo last night.
New York. So you just got to remember when you're running PSYFR, if you see a negative, the negative means that's the team predicted to win, and you're giving up those points. So if you see a plus sign, they'll change it up on you. It promotes confusion. They will change it up every once in a while. You'll see that, especially in NBA, they'll quit using the negative and they'll use a plus. It's the exact same thing. They just they just show the other team. So here's Washington negative 2.5. I would run PSYFR on that because they're really unsure who's going to win. But when it comes to Atlanta, it's a 5.5. So they're a little bit more confident that Atlanta's going to beat Carolina. Here's Houston versus Jacksonville. Look at that. Jacksonville is negative 1.5. That means that they kind of think Houston is going to be really hard to beat. So they're only making you give up 1.5 on Jacksonville. They really don't know who's going to win. The reason they're calling Jacksonville is because Vegas does not call ties. There are no ties in the line. So they're always going to predict one winner and one loser. But when they do this right here, 1.5, Vegas doesn't know who the hell's going to win this game. They don't.
So for the exercise that we're going through, because we're interested in knowing MSRF hits, operations, the stuff you're looking for further development of the app, we should still judge all the games. Yeah,
absolutely. I am, but I'm also thinking, Krusty, about all those who are participating in PSYFR who don't have the same goals as I do. There are people who paid the money to participate, and they're already using. Some people are using it for personal. Some people are using it for professional. I know somebody who sent me an email asking permission if they could run PSYFR for personal consultation, and they're even charging a fee. I told them, go ahead. I don't mind. I said I'm cool with all that. They may discover something that I need to know in the future. I said, so my goal is going to be different than some of the participants here. So I'm only thinking about those. I know we got some hardcore gamblers who are listening or who will watch this video later. They may not be in the chat right now. So I just want people not to be less frustrated. If you're a hardcore gambler, or if you just enjoy gambling or whatever, don't run all 15 games. I just gave you the formula. The best way to do it is to find the lowest spreads, because those are the areas, those are the gray areas that Vegas really doesn't know who's going to win. They just don't know. Those are the best ones to run predictions on because PSYFR gives you the advantage Vegas doesn't have. When Vegas gives you those real low spreads, it's because their own algorithms are deficient in trying to predict in between those two teams who's going to win.
They haven't paid everybody off yet.
Well, you have to understand, this is date sequence predictive analytics, and we're using nothing but date pertinent data. Vegas doesn't do Vegas has a system of date sequence predictive analytics, but they also have another system, and it's the reason they're so accurate. Every single player on every team has a point system they go by. Every single one of them. And if certain players are being deficient, they're not really doing a whole lot, that team's points will go down. but maybe the quarterback and maybe a receiver are just having exceptional time. So their points go up and it kind of balances out for that team. And this is where their own system is really good, because Vegas really is 71% accurate. That's really high. Most of the ESPN NFL experts, they qualify as experts if they can stay above the 55% accuracy. If they can maintain above that, people pay for those predictions. So I'm trying to beat all that. I'm trying to beat every single expert. I don't care if PSYFR is wrong on games every week, as long as PSYFR's record is superior to all the NFL experts.
Yep, makes sense.
Yeah, man. So yeah, you did a lot of work. So what you'll do, Jonathan, is post your output. You'll post your output in Telegram. I'll post my output in Telegram. Anybody else who wants to post output can post their output in Telegram, and we'll have somebody in Telegram just combine it all into one simple chart for everybody to review and everybody to see. And those who got favorite teams, there's going to be some people that I'm just giving an example, but there's going to be some people who just really love Dallas Cowboys, and they're going to turn around and run predictions on every single Dallas Cowboys games, and they'll provide that in the Telegram chat. You know, by week 4, week 5, week 6, we'll have so many participants. We should have a really good chart. Because I'm going to provide for the chart every single week. And Jonathan, I think you are too. Krusty, I don't know if you're going to be doing it, but
well, I was looking more to collecting the data.
Okay, you can put our chart together for us.
Because I'm like you, I'm interested in know what equations are working and which ones aren't, and MSRF and all that. So my goals are similar to yours, Jason.
All right, you can put our chart together for us then.
So my thoughts were so Jonathan's only recording the score and MSRF. So I think we should be recording the score, the hit score, MSRF, and the operations. I know it's difficult for some of the big ones because there's like 22 operations. So it's a lot of writing down of the operations. You might get 2 MSRF hits, but you get 16 equations hit that day. Or algorithms.
Yeah, well, it's too much data to put together.
But that data is going to be important by the end for Jason to be able to sit down with Doug and say, right, well, these 6 equations came up 87% of the time, and everything else on average was 42% of the time.
Absolutely.
So now you've got some data to go, okay, well, we could design something that focuses in on those 6 positive equations for NFL. And then you got to wait for next season to see if it's the same, because when I back tested NRL, I found equations that were strong in 24 season were not strong in 25 season.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see which operations are going to maintain a plateau of over 55%, because that's going to show me real fast. Like somebody mentioned in the chat, I don't remember who it was, but I've been surveying the chat. False positives are a real thing, but the method of the procedure that you just said is a perfect way to eliminate those false positives. Is to get rid of those operations that they can't maintain that plateau. At least 50 to 55% or more. If they dip routinely into the 40s, then they're not working. They need to be eliminated.
I found in the NRL here in Australia, there were always matches of Operation 8 and MSRF 56 or whatever a number, and it would just show up over and over and over all throughout the season. And then you'd have those where I think there were 2 I found that the operation didn't even come up in the whole season. Yeah, it's weird, and it changes from season to season. 24's high operation hits were not the same as I was progressing through the 25 season. They were different operations. And I thought you mentioned once in the past, Jason, that you found that as well, that as you carry over into the next season, the operations that were gold in the previous season weren't necessarily the gold operations in the next season. So if that's really a thing, then how are you going to know which operations to remove for the upcoming season?
Well, I'm going to tell you now, I've never had this much participation on running all this either. This is the most. So anything done in the past, I can attribute to either human error, experiment, false positives, or I can attribute to all kinds of things. But we have so many upgrades to the software just in the last 6 months. Yeah, I haven't run anything off these last 4 upgrades. I haven't done any predictions off the last 4 upgrades with the new algos and the new rating system for the MSRF. I haven't used the software at all to do anything. So I'm pretty excited about using it now.
Just to sidetrack, to tie up what you guys were talking about with the MSRF and the operations and stuff, how much work is it to create an export feature that includes the operations and the MSRFs, so that when you create a spreadsheet, an export spreadsheet, that you can actually take that and search it and highlight where MSRFs hit based on the entire data set and where the operations hit. That is going to be key for the reanalysis stage.
I think Doug's looking at creating what they call headless, meaning you got the interface of PSYFR, and underneath that is an engine that produces all that shit on the screen. So you want to create a version where you're just talking to the engine. So somebody like me can write a script that goes and talks to the engine, and then the engine spits back to me what I asked for. Cool. So I can say, I only want September 21st. Don't give me all the 1,000 other friggin' dates. Just give me, if that team has hit September 20th, 21st, 22nd, 19th, 20th, 21st, just give me that data. And then that can get sucked into a spreadsheet. So my understanding is the dev guys are looking at that. And that's going to be required anyway to fulfill Jason's vision on automating all this. Office's engine needs to be headless, meaning no interface wrapped around it. You're just sending requests to it, and it's just spitting data back at you for whatever you ask for. Like Jason said, like an AI thing.
Very similar to what I have for Archaics. You just put in the search bar something, and it pulls up the videos and the timestamps of where that data is anywhere on my channel. I don't know if you've used the search bar on my website, the AI search feature I have on my website for my YouTube videos. Are you familiar with what I'm talking about, Jonathan?
I've seen it, but I haven't used it much.
Okay,
I haven't had enough time just watching it.
Yeah, you just put keywords. You can put Christian Reich in the search bar, and it will pull up every video on YouTube where I've said that or I describe it, and it will give you the timestamp, and you can literally click on the timestamp, and it goes straight to that portion of the YouTube video where I'm talking about it. And a lot of people do their research like that on my channel, just using that AI search bar. I envision the same thing for this, except for we would be putting in the teams and the dates they play each other, and that's it. The software actually does everything else, no human error.
Yeah, that's the dream.
Yeah, we might get something before the end of the season. All right, we'll have to chat with Doug.
Yeah, last time I talked to Doug, I had sent him. It had been like 5 months. He doesn't work for me. We actually have an agreement, but when he puts in a whole bunch of work and he has other projects and contracts, he got Fortune 500 companies that bid for him. He doesn't work for anybody. He actually works for himself. And so he's a really good friend. I've been knowing him for 3.5 years now. I actually met him in person twice. The first time was at the very first meetup in Fort Worth, and the second time he flew to Texas to sit down with me for a while, and we hashed out some stuff. But I just sent him quite a bit of money recently because I just, you know what? There's no way in hell this guy can keep doing this quality of work and not get paid. You know what I mean? It's just he's phenomenal. He's phenomenal. He's got a heart of gold, and I also know he kind of went through a rough spot because his wife came down with something, and the only place that she could be treated in the entire world was in Europe. So he moved his whole family to Europe for like 18 months so his wife could go through treatment. Then he brought him back.
Yeah, he popped in Telegram. He was going to try to make the live, but something came up.
I know he's a busy man. He's a busy man, but he's a good guy. Humble. He's real humble, and it's just I like working with him because listen, I may not know all the coder vernacular and all that, but when I'm describing something, he instantly reinterprets it the way it needs to be, so he understands exactly, because he's never got it wrong. When I describe an operation, he's got it. When I describe what something needs to do in the software, he's got it. So yeah, he's
100%, Lewis.
He's genius level. There's no doubt. He's genius level. So that's I just looked at the ESPN schedule. There are 7 games that, if I was just strictly interested in gambling, there are 7 of the 14 games being played on Sunday and Monday that are all 2.5 points on the spread or less. Those are the ones I would really be focused on, because those are the ones that are the highest risk for Vegas, because they just don't know who's going to win. So that just gives you an idea. That just gives you an idea that if you were to use PSYFR for sports betting or something, you wouldn't have to exhaust yourself on all 30 games every single week. You would actually look at the spread, and the spread will determine which games you would run. And in this case, it's 50%, but it's not going to be that way. Normally it's going to be 30 or 40% of the games. This week is a little higher. So, and that's because it's early in the season. The more the season progresses, you will notice the more refined Vegas gets in the spreads. That's the more their algorithm picks up on who's going to be winning and who's going to be losing. So you got to pay attention to that Vegas spread, because they got inside information. They always have inside information.
Why do you think you get more accuracy with the NFL than the other sports? I mean, we had hundreds of people, like Jonathan spent the first 2 months on Major League Baseball, and I think Jasmine's been focusing on soccer. And then,
okay, well,
what's your theories on why is the NFL more accurate?
I don't believe the NFL is more accurate. I believe the compression of data is the problem, because this is date sequence predictive analytics, and it's based off a diurnal system, a day system. If a cipher could be reprogrammed to take into account hours instead of days, it would be different for NFL, for NBA and soccer. The problem with NBA and the problem with soccer is game frequency. There's nothing to measure when a team plays it and then they win and then they play again. And this is what you get all the time. You get this all the time in baseball and in NBA. These teams are playing back to back. There's almost nothing to measure. And when there is something to measure, it's normally one or two days. Well, you see how the operations are. If you only have a 1 or 2 day measurement, then at the most you'll have a 2 to 5 day spread on the algorithm. You know, the output. So with NFL, everything is 6 to 8 days between each game, because the way they rotate the teams on Thursdays and they rotate the teams on Sunday nights. Most games are all on Sunday, but on Monday night they'll have two teams playing. On Thursday night they'll have 2 teams playing. The rotation means that most teams are every 7 days, but not all of them, because they're rotating Thursdays and they're rotating Mondays. So it's
what do you think about? Okay, so we take one date and another date, subtract the difference, get the Y value, do the calcs, and then you get future dates. Do you think it would work if we focused on hours, not days? The
problem is this is a diurnal based system. The entire programming for PSYFR is based off days. The coding is all based off the day, so it would have to be reprogrammed for hours. And then that's
I get that. I'm just your thoughts on, would the concept work? So right now you do isometrics through years or months, and would PSYFR is days.
PSYFR does isometrics with days. That's one of the operations.
Correct. But I guess what I'm asking is can you apply these concepts to hours?
Okay, I'm gonna have. Man, I want to say yes. But hours are strictly a man-made construct.
Yep.
Days are not. You understand? The programming of the sky is diurnal. It's day and night, and nobody can deny that. And it's got a fixed measure. But when it comes to hours, that is 100% a man-made construct, because there's nothing in nature that tells you 1 hour from another. It's totally a man-made construct. I mean, we could have divided the day into 12 equal parts instead of 24. And then it wouldn't be an hour, it would be 120 minutes. It wouldn't be 60 minutes, it would be 120 minutes. So this is far beyond anything I would know how to do. I do know this: the construct itself is based off diurnal mechanics, so it only made sense to code it in a diurnal system.
Good. A couple thoughts going back to originally one of the reasons I think NFL might be more accurate is because most of the operations have the number 2 and 3 in them as a part of the calculations, and those fit within a week. So it cuts out a lot of that noise and frequency that MLB creates, because you could have 3 games within a 2 or 3 multiplier that you would be constantly re-adding on as the operations run through, whereas an operation would have the chance to hit 6 or 7 times during a week, versus on an NFL a multiplier of 2 or a multiplier of 3.14, it occurs only twice during the 7-day period. And another thought I was having about the time of day and the diurnalness of it, if you look at a sundial, for instance, like the only time of day where you can be sure instantly that the time is the real time is high noon.
Yeah, noon. When there's no shadow.
Every other time you need to wait until another period of time and then measure the two of them. But at high noon, it's the only time of the day that you actually know what time it is instantly.
Yeah, I agree. I got something to tell you, man. Has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but you mentioned sundials. All right. You know, I'm always talking about how the zodiac was created after the 8th century BC.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here's a fun fact. I haven't put it in my research yet, but I just learned this the other day. I was researching gnomons. GNOMON, gnomon. These were devices used in the ancient world to determine basically what time of day it was. They are the predecessors of sundials. But archaeologists have yet to find any evidence of the knowledge, construction, or actual archaeological devices of gnomons or sundials till after the 5th century BC. It's almost as if humans had they had never come up with the idea of the sundial or a gnomon until after the 5th century BC. You would think that if the sun was visible for thousands of years, all the way in the 4th and 3rd and 2nd millennium BC, they would have long developed gnomons and sundials, but they didn't. It said, they first started appearing in the 5th century around the year 600 BC.
We must have taken them to the surface last time we went.
It's crazy. Yeah, man. We got to understand, under a vapor canopy, you wouldn't need a sundial. There's no use for one.
Yeah.
No use for one at all. Oh, somebody already beat me to it. Who is that? Lewis Norris? You stay out of my head, man. Why would they need that in a vapor canopy?
Yeah. Just like solar panels.
Right.
All the rocks and mud are going to destroy them anyway. They won't hold up against a little bit of hail.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's see. I saw something. I'm just flipping through the chat.
I'll be right back.
Oh, that was Lewis Norris again. Said, agreed on the Doug scenario. If we can get this to work, why can't we use this to fund the entire project? Well, that's a completely subjective inquiry there, because it's already worked. I could actually create a company. I could create a company right now. I could put out some advertising. I could create a consultations company. And I promise you I'd be very successful just doing personal and business based off PSYFR as we have it right now. I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever. And I'm probably going to have in between an 80 to 85% accuracy. I'm going to have very happy customers. I'm going to be willing to work with customers that aren't too happy until they are happy. I have no doubt. So it's entirely subjective. I have a great faith in PSYFR right now, as long as Protocol Prime is a factor, because it does make a difference. These are in the personal. But we're doing something a little bit different, because none of us are participants. So we're not participants in the sporting, and we're not out there in the field. We're not doing this. This is almost like background programming we're measuring. So before we have Doug sit down and actually design a very complex app just for one sport, I would like to have a lot more data. So yeah, I don't want to sit here. PSYFR is multifaceted. I'm focusing on the most difficult aspect right now, which is sports betting. It's the most difficult aspect. So yeah, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to sit here and pretend that PSYFR has not been successful, because it has. But what we're doing now is on a whole nother level. And I'm not saying it's successful yet. Not on the sports betting. Not until we get this right.
Yeah, it's a process. People have a hard time getting used to that, I guess.
Yeah, we're doing it. This is what we're going to do. So I know I'm going to be submitting to the Telegram group my output. And my way of record keeping is screenshots. When I do a PSYFR prediction, my files are full of screenshots, which gives me a record of the exact output for whatever games I'm measuring. Other people are going to submit theirs. Jonathan, I know you're going to submit yours, and yeah, I think we're going to do just fine. We're going to do just fine. There's other little things to do too. One of them I have to. I got to create some type of little chart for the NFL experts. It's not just important to me to be able to predict game outcomes. It's also equally important to me to be able to give a public accounting and show that even though PSYFR gets some games wrong, it is consistently better than any of the published NFL experts. I want to show that too.
Somebody in the volunteer group posted a chart already of like 15 sports experts.
Yeah, so that's what I did in 2019. In 2019 and 2020, when I was doing NFL, I was doing it with spreadsheets, a calculator, pen and paper, and on a very, very primitive micro. You guys have seen it. You got it in the group. The old Excel sheet that I designed with the VBA coding. The VBA coding is hidden in the K column. But yeah, that's real primitive.
It feels like a long time ago.
Real pain in the ass doing that one. I wish I would have had the PSYFR we have now compared to the old OFIS template. Hell yeah. Okay.
Do you want to go through a couple predictions and just to show people again how?
Wow, is that me? Who's sharing the screen right now? Me?
You.
Oh yeah. Man, all right.
I think the thing to keep in mind, because you've always been used to doing this by yourself, Jason, now that you got a whole crew behind you, we're going to have hiccups in the first few weeks. But I reckon by the time we get to week 6 or 7, there's going to be a good rhythm going.
Yeah.
So I'll just ask everybody to be patient while we work out what that rhythm is.
Absolutely. I'm patient too. I'm not going to, there's no devil going to pop out of me, start cussing people out. Nah, yeah, believe me, I'm friendlier than a box of gay puppies. Yeah, ain't nobody can have any problem with me. But halfway through the season, I won't announce it to the YouTube community. But halfway through the season, I'm already thinking about it. I might take a trip to Vegas just to go sit for a whole NFL weekend, just for fun, just for the fun of it. Take about $1,000 after running predictions and go lay some bets, and then I'll admit it. I mean, I'll notify the Telegram community for anybody who wants to meet me there and just go hang out in the casino for a couple days.
Yeah, there's a few people talking about doing meetups and stuff like that.
Yeah, I do. I definitely do that. I know Justin Oyola is going to be there. I couldn't even keep when I was in the Venetian Bet Center. Dad started drinking and celebrating because in one day I'd already won 5 bets and I had 2 more bet slips and I'm sitting there watching them and I got soccer and NBA going on at the same time. And Justin walks over to the table and he's looking at me and I'm holding these bet slips and I look at him. He's still looking at me. I'm like, damn, man, it's kind of odd. And then he kind of just, hey, Jason of Archaics. So I'm like, so the first thing out of my mouth to Justin, he's in the chat right now. First thing out of my mouth was, you didn't just walk up on this table and just accidentally find me, man. So he's like, no, man, I kind of knew you were in town. And there's only a couple bet centers that I really thought you'd be at. So I'm at the most prestigious one in Vegas. I'm at the Venetian Bet Center. Yeah, they got no caps, no limits on that one. Across the street at Treasure Island, they got limits. I think the Luxor's got limits. So I invited him.
You can buy 25 tickets if you want.
Do what?
You can buy 25 tickets if you want.
Oh yeah, well I'm talking about bet limits because listen, I had when I was originally, I went to Vegas 4 times, but on 3 of those trips, somebody had given me a sizable amount of money, and the agreement was to gamble it. Yeah, it wasn't for me to keep. So I had carte blanche. And for 2 of those days, this person sat at the table and they didn't even want to stay any longer than that. They saw absolutely this was we were on fire. But that's because I developed a system that practiced exclusions. You understand? That's because I specifically did not bet on certain things that looked terrible bad. And yeah, anytime PSYFR disagreed with the house, I didn't bet. Anytime the spread was 5.5 points or 5.5 points or more, I didn't bet. So I created a 4-tier analysis, and if it didn't meet all 4 tiers, then I didn't bet on it. So this yeah. Anyway, Justin walked in on the 3rd day, and our benefactor had already left Vegas with their information. This is probably someone in the future who, once this is absolutely working to par and the way it's supposed to happen, this is probably somebody in the future this is somebody I trust, and this is somebody who's probably going to be very involved. We're just not there, and I'm not willing to sign contracts. I'm not willing to actually get that deep involved with somebody until I know for a fact I've got something that's actionable and that I'm entering this agreement in good faith. So once that comes, man, this individual and I probably have a hell of a future. But until I can actually be that confident, right now we're just in limbo. So Justin walked in on this, and we bought him a couple drinks, and then we ended up getting hungry, so we had dinner, and Justin was there when we cashed in those last 2 tickets. It's like, wow, man, this is just crazy how this is happening. But it's not because PSYFR was nailing it all. It's a combination. It's a combination. PSYFR gave me the edge I needed, and me practicing the exclusions, creating my own little litmus test, putting those in combination. It was a winning combination, but we can do better. We can do better, and that's with the compression of data. That's with, Cole and I were kind of stressed because the game frequency. but Cole's output and my output kept matching, so we kept going with it. And I was like, okay. So because Cole is on the Archaics team. You guys don't see him very often. He kind of stays in the back, but he lives here in Willis. He lives on the other side of town, and he does a lot of computer work for me. But as a matter of fact, every single one of my Epic Drops videos, he's the one that I put those videos together, but he's the one that edits all my old videos and turns them into shorts, and then gives me drives that have 500 shorts from which I cherry pick to put those Epic Drops videos together. Big Cole's the one that's on that project. So anytime you see an Epic Drops video, that's Big Cole's work.
Cool.
But yeah, that's,
you gotta outsource sometimes.
Let's see. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna probably head out to Vegas. I want to wait till we have several weeks worth of information. So when I go, I'm very, very confident in the output.
Yeah. I think just based on the first 2 weeks, I think it's going to be.
No, we'll just do. We're not going to do a PX meetup, but we'll definitely do like a Cypher meetup. It'll be strictly for Cypher. We'll just go hang out at a restaurant, hang out at casinos, whatever. Cool with that. Definitely cool with that. So yeah, rest of the evening looks like I'm gonna be running predictions. But is there anything else we need to cover? Krusty, anything you can think of?
No, I think Jonathan's got a good head start on a chart.
I'm impressed with this chart. I got the chart right here. I'm impressed with it. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot to take in.
Did you get into the Google?
Come again?
Did you get into the Google Drive to see all the files?
No, I haven't done that. I'm gonna do that once I get off the screen. What I have right here is this massive Excel file that shows the whole back history for all the NFL teams.
That's the one Krusty made.
Yeah, I was playing around earlier. I think I can get that printed. So I'll see if I can PDF it, Jason, and then send it to you, and then you can print it.
Yeah, within 30 minutes of me receiving a PDF file of that, I'll have it printed up.
Yeah, okay.
I'll have it printed up.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
Do you want me to remove any of the columns? Like, what columns do you not care about? And I'll get rid of those as well.
You could probably get rid of the stadium location ones.
And the lat lounge?
Well,
let me open it up and look real quick, because that is a good question.
The lat lounge, once you have it saved per stadium, maybe just one master file or one master sheet that has that.
Because this is a massive file. There's no doubt. Okay.
So, guys, the only reason the data is formatted that way is because that's how my Office OPH automation tool works. It needs all that data. But I can replicate it and strip whatever you guys don't want. If you don't care about location, city, location, lat, lounge, do you really need 4 date and times? You just want the original date and time, and then the potential sunset date and time, match numbers, obviously years. Tell me, Jason, what you don't want to see, and I'll strip it, which will make it easier to condense it down into a PDF.
I'm looking at it right now, and I can't remember how I opened it. I'm looking at the cover page right now where it says add header.
Add header.
Oh, never mind. It's open. I got it open. Never mind. Let's see. Yeah.
Yeah. We only need the lat long when you're doing hour minute scope, right? So are we going to be going that accurate?
Lat lounge was there to get the sunset calculation.
Yeah.
To figure out what was the exact time and day of sunset for that location. That's based on the lat lounge. And lat lounge is based on the city that the game was played in. So it's like this. You have to first work out where the stadium's at. Then you got to work out what's the lat and lounge of that city. And then the script can then go out and get the correct sunset date.
I can understand why those dates are there now, but once we already have the data, are those columns still necessary?
No.
If we're just using it for back histories in order to run PSYFR.
They would only need to be there if we called into question the output date.
Yeah, so we keep a copy, but we don't need it for the printed copy.
Correct. I'll maintain the master because every week I update that file with each weekend's result.
Oh, it's awesome. There's no doubt it's a badass master. But in order for the paper copy, yeah, I don't even need any of those dates. Let's see. I don't see how it would fit on paper anyway. It's a huge chart going left to right.
Well, you don't need this. You don't need the stadium. You don't need the city. You don't need Lat Lounge. You don't need the. Those are the three.
Yeah, those are the three. I agree. That's basically the three that you would eliminate.
Do you want to see the home team and the away team for just collecting your dates? Are you?
Yeah, I want to keep. I would keep home and away there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and win or loser, you don't really need that either, do you?
Yeah, because you need to know if somebody won at home or lost at home.
Need to know. Yeah, that's true.
Wins,
for the old data.
Because that tells you what list that date should be on.
All right, let me make a copy of this.
Maybe Jasmine walked me through it. She's saying something that on the Excel spreadsheet you can delete things just to print them out. I don't know. But yeah, simplify it as much as possible for my printout, and I'll take off. I will launch. Exactly, Justin. Not every game is a bettable game. Many of them need to be avoided. Absolutely.
It's like learning new languages. All this programming talk. It's like trying to learn Dutch from a Chinaman.
Well, this is the first NFL season that I've ever had this many predictive analytics tools to work with. Yeah,
oh, yeah.
The development that PSYFR's at right now, 10 times more than it was last year's OFIS. So
yeah. The amount of predictions and work that got done in the month of May and June from the Telegram group, like, was probably 100 times that one person could have done.
Wow. That's crazy. That's a lot of work, man. You got a lot of free time.
It wasn't just me. There was quite a few people who were doing it daily on almost every baseball game and every soccer game that was going on. The first few months were just a chaotic free-for-all.
Yeah, Jasmine, if PSYFR ties with the house, if both PSYFR and the house agree that someone's going to win, I'm going to pay attention to that game. I'm going to look deeper use other back information. Like look at the game losses as well. But when PSYFR and the house disagree, that was one of my 4 points on the NBA. I didn't pick any underdogs when I did the NBA testing. I didn't at all, because I wanted to stick with the control. And the control is that somebody asked me, Jason, if out of 120, this is what prompted the whole Vegas deal, was, Jason, if Vegas is 71% accurate, then I'll just bet on all 120 games of Vegas, because I'll be right 71% of the time. And I told this person, I said, that's not how it works. Vegas has a bet structure that guarantees that everybody who does that goes broke. So I had to explain to them. I had to explain to them why. So I had to show them. I said, well, first of all, I'm going to take that. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run PSYFR on all 120 NBA games straight. So just to prove the point, and I did. But at the same time, I also created my own litmus test. What I was willing to bet on and what I wasn't. And with Vegas being right 71% of the time, the problem is that if you're wrong one time because of the bet structure, you lose far more money than you actually win when you do win. The bet structure is designed that way. If I put up $100 and I'm going with Vegas, and out of 120 games, there's going to be about 60 of those games that Vegas is telling you who's going to win, and 71% of the time who's going to win, and they win. So when you put that $100 up, how much do you actually win? Depending upon the spread, you'll either win $5, $10, $15, and rarely, unless the spread was real big and you went with an underdog, you might win $50 or $60 off your 100. But if you lose, the 29% of the times that Vegas was wrong, you lost the whole $100.
Yeah, it's similar to the Sharpe ratio that traders use, where they multiply the percentage of winning versus the percentage that the payout makes, and if they're not above 2, then you're losing.
So basically, all I did was create a system where PSYFR became a tool that gave me leverage on those 120 games, so that by the time I was done with my 4-point test of eliminating all the games that I just wasn't willing to bet on, the ones I was willing to bet on out of the 120, I was 94.5% accurate. So it's not PSYFR being 94.5% accurate. It's PSYFR being used as a tool as I practice exclusions that was 94% accurate. You follow me?
Oh, 100. If you knew how many times we've typed that out and had this conversation this summer, it would blow your mind.
Oh, okay. Well,
it is. We have thoroughly explained that in detail. It should be very clear to everybody at this point. There should be no need to re-educate that.
Yeah, it's all good. So I really thought we were going to be doing all the predictions on the screen. I see that's not going to be viable, but I'm going to do them on my screens, and I'll use the I'm going to want this as a paper deal. So yes, I do want the PDF, but for tonight, I'm just going to use the Excel spreadsheet. I'll just put it on one of my screens. I might put it on, you know what? I have a second laptop. I'm going to put it on a second laptop so I never have to, it just stays there. I'm idiosyncratic about that type of stuff. And then
well, once you find a groove and a way that works, it's hard to change it.
Yeah.
That's the Gemini in you, Jason.
Man, I know it. You know what?
I'm a Gemini as well.
Yeah, man. I'm an overthinker. I'm an overachiever, and everything's got to be right. You have no idea how many times I've posted something and took the post down because something was wrong. Syntax error. My grammar was off. An image didn't come out the way I wanted to. You would not believe how many times I have reposted the same shit over and over.
I'm born right on the cusp, June 21st.
I drive my family nuts with perfectionism.
Yep.
Total perfection in some areas and absolute chaos in others.
Man, I am my own worst critic because I the standards I hold to myself, I don't hold to anybody. I don't hold anybody to my standards, and I get frustrated with myself all the time. Yeah. Absolutely. So, anything else we need to cover? Because I'm probably gonna eat a couple pork chops, some mashed potatoes, some asparagus, and I'm gonna get on top of this. I got nothing else to do tonight. I might jump over on Archaics Underground and upload a few things from the Nemesis file. I already started the Nemesis file today. Archaics Underground took off. There's 2,500 people in there now.
You get lost for days, man.
It's awesome, and it's so well behaved. Like, I expected it just to get flooded with chaos, like the Telegram group was when we first started that, and it's shocking. It's the paywall really that keeps all the shit rats out, because you can't just recreate 17 bank accounts every time you get booted out.
Awesome. All right, well, I'm about to go. I'm going to go, and we're going to wait till about week 10. Probably wait till about week 10 NFL before we figure out the Las Vegas deal. But I'm definitely going to go to Vegas. I'm just not. We just need to keep that among Telegram community. I'm not even going to say anything in Archaics Underground either.
Cool. Yeah, we'll all be able to go by then, hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Let's see. But yeah, this right here was a good little power hour. Good little.
Hey, Jason, before we go, can I share my screen and show you something?
Yeah, do it.
It's high pressure.
Sorry, I can't share my screen because the Mac wants me to change all kinds of security
Yeah,
settings.
don't worry about it.
My machine. But what I was going to show you is I've got a PDF. So it's 43 pages long. It includes year, match, round, the local date and time, the sunset entry date and time, home team, away team, result. Oh, wait a minute. It cut off the loser. Okay, I'm close. Hopefully in the next couple hours, I should be able to get a PDF to you, I guess, is the
that's beautiful, man.
I'll go, the story.
Yeah, I'll go straight down the road and have that printed up.
You don't have a printer?
I do have a printer, but I'm not going to print something that big in it.
Oh.
Yeah, it'll be at least 40 plus pages.
Yeah. My printer's for important legal documents and stuff like. If I'm printing up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 documents, yeah.
I'm doing the same thing, printing up legal documents.
Yeah. I'm not gonna something like that. I'll take it to. I'll go use the printers at Office Depot.
Yeah. Use their ink.
Yeah, I'll use theirs. All right, guys.
When do you want to do this again?
I'm about to go dig in. Well, the games are on Sunday, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna post my output in the Telegram group, so you can post your output in the Telegram group. Anybody else who runs predictions in any way they do, I'm going strictly by what we posted. Type 1, Type 2, Type 3, Type 4. And I understand this early in the season, Type 1, 2, and 3 are going to be very hard. We're going to have to get to past week 5, week 6, and week 7 for Types 1, 2, and 3 to really kick in. But
yeah.
that's why I told you guys from the very beginning, the more the season progresses, the more accurate our output's going to be. And it's because of Type 1, Type 2, and Type 3 absolutely require more and more data.
It'll be interesting to see how it correlates with the E1 and E2s. The full data sets for the last 7 years. Those
Absolutely.
Numbers are quite compelling when you look at them, and they do correlate quite nicely in a lot of cases.
Awesome. Awesome sauce.
Hey, Jason, are you on Telegram right now?
No, I'm not. Do I need to be?
Well, I can dump this PDF right into a Telegram window right now if you want.
Well, I'm going. I'm on my way. I'm on my way, Chief.
And then you could just tell me if it's what you're looking for, and I'll just make adjustments.
I'm in Telegram, but where am I supposed to be? I'm in the general. I'm in general chat right now.
All right, I'll dump it in the general chat. General, where you at?
I see Lala Kelly's NFL experts post.
You see it?
You say you put it in general chat?
It'd be PSYFR General. Yeah.
I'm in PSYFR General. It just hasn't popped up yet.
Do you see it yet, Jonathan? Anyone else in the chat?
Yeah, it's in there.
What?
It's the icon with the pyramid and the phoenix.
Maybe I need to refresh it.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a bit.
That's exactly what happened. I needed to refresh. Okay, so, man, Telegram, just like that. Just like that. I got it on my desktop. How'd that happen?
It's called technology.
Telegram is a beast. I've always avoided Telegram. I had a bad experience on Telegram with
wow. Yeah.
What was I can't remember the name of the guy in the group. He's probably a good guy, but I can't remember the guy's name, man. He had a whole Telegram. He had an Aaron's Universe Telegram group, and he wasn't even a part of the Archaics community.
Huh? I think I vaguely remember that. That was right when I first came into the reality tunnel.
Somebody knows who I'm talking about. Oh, Gnostic Baseball. He goes by Gnostic Baseball. He had this huge Aaron's Universe deal set up. And I used to go in there and look a little every once in a while. I was like, damn, man, they don't even talk about anything Archaics related.
Yeah, it's hard to find people that do.
I mean, it ain't got to be strictly Archaics, but yeah, I mean, it's I find it kind of odd that I'm hypercritical of certain individuals and yet they're being praised here. It's crazy.
Yeah, maybe I guess it's just a little breakaway group that got corrupted and filled up with a bunch of non-Archaics people that left because you weren't there.
So this is impressive. This is impressive right here.
That's way more going on every different.
It's only 23 pages.
Listen, I'm going to show my screen so the community knows what you just did so they can download it too. This makes it easy. This is good.
So I left the local date. So the local date is the actual date and time of the game. And the column next to it is a judgment call on whether it should be the next day or not.
Gotcha.
So you can decide on your own or take the data as is.
Yeah, well, a lot of times it is the same date. So there was no judgment call whatsoever. It was fixed as the same day. I do see sometimes the date is changed.
Yeah. So like a game that starts at 7:10 p.m., well, obviously it's going to end after sunset, so it'll be the next day.
Absolutely. So being in another hemisphere, I see that it is I'm going to have to be careful. I'm going to have to be careful because here in the States, we always put the month first and then the date and then the year, which is kind of backwards.
Oh, hang on. Let me just, that'll take 2 minutes to fix.
Because that's going to confuse me. I know I'm going to be looking at that and thinking and I'm going to swear up and down that's May 9th.
Yeah, I get that. Hey, look, I'm actually born American. I just moved here 25 years ago.
Yeah.
And it took a long time to get my head wrapped around the way the rest of the world does it.
Another thing that I noticed about that is home team. Normally when we're announcing sports here, it's the away team at home, at the home team. You always list the visiting team first.
Sorry?
Yeah. It's like Dallas at Buffalo.
Yeah.
Oh, Dallas.
So you always say the visiting team first, or list the visiting team on top.
So you want to flip the away column and the home column? Is that what you're asking?
I'm not asking. I'm just pointing out something that I know.
He's just telling you, but basically that's how all the sports websites do it. They'll always mention the visiting team to the left, and they'll say like Dallas at Buffalo, and that tells you the two teams that are playing and where they're playing.
But in your defense, it is confusing sometimes on that NFL reference website where they list how they list the winning and the losing teams. It is a little bit misrepresentative of how we talk in normal day to day.
Yeah, you ain't got to change that. The only thing I'm worried about is that date, because I'll be in my zone and I won't even be thinking about those dates being inversed.
So month first, day.
Month, date, year. Month, day, year.
Yeah.
When did they start switching formulas around like that, Jason? Is there any?
Oh, I don't know when they started, but I've seen it a lot with interacting with people in other countries. It seems like other countries outside of the United, even the UK. I've seen it from the UK too. They do the day, month, and year.
What are most of the 400 years ago? What were they using, or was it just as random as it is today?
What do you mean?
Like 400 years ago, if you're looking up, somebody was writing down the date. What format did they use?
400 years ago, it was really common. It was really common to put an I in front of the dates because there was half of the world was still using the Julian system, and the I and the J are the same letter 400 years ago. So you see that little I, and then you would see a date, and that would tell somebody this is Roman Julian date, not the Western Gregorian date. Yeah, when the Western world adopted the Gregorian system in 1582, half of the world didn't accept it, and they were still going by the Julian. So anybody who was familiar with the Gregorian dating, when they were posting a Julian date, they always put that I there. And this is one of my bones of contention with the whole Tartaria deal, because they make a big deal of that I, and they make a real big deal out of that I, because the I served multiple purposes, especially in numismatics. On coins, they didn't have a lot of room on coins to do something. The I replaced the 1000 because it was already known. If it said 689, it's not the year 689 AD. You understand? Because a lot of the coins that were printed in German, the German didn't even exist in 689 AD. So when you saw an I in a 689, the I standed for Roman Julian dating, and it also standed for 1,000 years. So it was 1689, but it was 1689 under the Julian system, not Gregorian. So anyway, aside from that,
new files uploaded in general chat.
Damn, you're a beast.
Santa Claus.
You're a beast, man. So, I'm still sharing my screen. Let's see. All right, so I'm going to go back in Telegram real quick. Good thing I didn't have any racy wallpaper up there or anything.
Who knows what's considered racy these days?
Hey, Paul Cook did that. I don't know if you remember, but about 2.5 years ago, Paul Cook was Googling stuff online, showing people on his channel. Well, apparently he had some porn tucked away in a file, and he didn't mark the file, and he opened the file thinking it was going to be something that he was supposed to be sharing with his community, and he shared a whole lot more on YouTube than he was planning on sharing.
Hackers did.
I teased him about it. One of my old YouTube videos, I teased him about it. I got Paul Cook coming back on my channel here in a couple weeks.
Cool.
Let's see.
Is he still over in the Mediterranean?
He's been all over the place, so we're gonna get an update. I haven't been really. I got Logan of Decode Your Reality coming on the channel too.
Cool.
I got several people. Okay, so yeah, here it is. Man, that is awesome. How fast that PDF is a beast. So let me go in here, get this download. Look at that. So y'all can see let me blow this up real quick. This is what you can download right now in Telegram. Yes, that's beautiful. September 5th, September 8th. Man, I'm gonna do this so fast. This is exactly what I needed.
That is way faster than going on every website and refreshing through every year and trying to determine.
So in order to start,
the only thing I advise, I know we had about 5 people look through this data. It's a lot of data. If you got the time, Jason, just double check those dates and times, especially when you're going back from 24 but all the way back to 19. We're pretty confident. What do we have, Jonathan? 4 people ran their eyes over the data.
Okay.
Because we don't want to get halfway through the season and discover an error.
Right. Well, that's what I got Big John for. Big John makes good money, and sometimes I'm struggling to find him projects to do.
Well, I'd be happy to hook up with Big John and walk him through the data, and he can go away and validate it as well. I mean, the more eyes we got on the data.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you what, Big John loves football. He does love football. So
cool.
Okay, so this is beautiful because I can see exactly where we need to start. This is where the PDF needs to stay open to do type 1, type 2, type 3, and type 4 predictions. Start right here.
Yeah, and I'll be updating this weekly, guys. So because I'm in Australia, I got to wait till the Monday night game ends, which is my Tuesday. So by your Tuesday, a new file, Excel, CSV, and now this PDF will get uploaded weekly.
Man, that's beautiful.
And then all you got to do is download the new PDF, because then you can do what you did, Jason. Go all the way to the bottom, and you know where you need to start for the coming weekend.
Sweet.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That'll work.
We're light years ahead of May.
Man, that's awesome. So let's see here. Krusty, Lewis, he changed the dates. He Americanized the date column. We Americans, we got everything backwards. We even drive on the wrong side of the road.
Well, this depends on whether you want to have your sword or your shield on the right side.
Yep, that is true. That is true. I think that Europe already had cities where they were already going on the left and right side before we really developed like that over here. Because up until the automobile, today the left, they all talk about the automobiles polluting the environment and all that. Do you know that you can pull up newspaper articles from 1901, 1902, and 1903 where all the newspapers are praising the new automobile as being the savior of New York and Chicago, because both New York and Chicago had 6 inches to a foot of horse shit over every single street in the cities. And it was becoming a huge problem. And a lot of these Tartarian guys too, they like to post these pictures. They like to post these pictures of empty American cities, and they got all this mud all over the streets, and you don't realize it. First of all, those pictures were all taken on Sundays. That this was done intentionally, because back then, Sunday, the whole city shut down. This was the United States. This is we were
a couple years ago.
Yeah, we were under the blue laws for years here in the United States. And on Sunday, your business did not open. Downtown New York was empty. There was no movement. That was the perfect time for photographers to go in there and photograph stuff. And that's not mud you're looking at. That's horse shit. And when when vehicles were first being promoted, they were promoted as saviors of the environment because people were getting sick from the smell. And horse shit was everywhere.
Yeah. Full circle, eh?
Yeah.
Now they're killers of the environment.
Yeah. I did a post about this a long time ago. It said every time I see a new Tartarian narrative, you know, man, I just like, you know what, damn, man, I can't, you know, these guys talking about we can't build these buildings and the building that was erected in 1901 and 1902, everybody's talking about it's impossible. So I did a little homework. Anybody could have done this. I did a little homework and I found that exact same lot right there on Fifth Avenue where that Cheese Wedge building is, the Fuller building. Yeah. It's called the Flatiron building, but it's built by the Fuller Construction Company. That Cheese Wedge building right there at that location was another store in 1898. And I took pictures of it showing, look, man, they did tear that store down and they did build this in 1901 and 1902. They're trying to say that the building was there for centuries and we found it and all this bullshit.
It's only what, 10 stories tall? Like they built taller stuff.
It's the first official skyscraper in the world. It's 21 stories high. It used to be the tallest building. In 1902, it was the tallest building in New York.
Yeah.
But it's 21 stories.
Yeah, it's just as well. Once you realize how much complication there is to things, like I just look at those people pushing that kind of stuff, and it's like, it's just beginner entry stuff. If it makes people curious and they go and research it and try to find out more stuff to validate that belief, they're just going to discover so much more. So they do serve a purpose, but it's the baby phoenix stuff. It's the waking up and just becoming aware of alternative theories and going on your own discovery path.
So Megan T said France drives on the same side we do. Okay. I didn't know that. Right now, I wouldn't go to France. I'd stay out of France and Spain right now until all this Islamic stuff gets messed with. Until all this plays out, I'd stay out of there. But now, this would have been my bathroom break if we were going to end up going 5 hours. But now it is about time for me to go.
Yeah.
So that's good work, Jonathan and Krusty. That PDF is exactly, you couldn't have done better on that PDF. That's exactly what I'm looking for to get these predictions done. Because I'm going to tell you now, running date sequence predictive analytics has always been a pain in my ass, not because of the software, but because of collecting the data. By the time I find the information I'm looking for, I'm no longer interested in the outcome. So it's a pain in the ass.
Well, then by the time you get to all the predictions done, the day is over and you missed the game.
Yeah, when I was doing the NRL, there's only 6 to 8 games per weekend. Man, it was hours. Even with all the automation I had, it was still hours. Because you got update files, double check, look at dates. Did I get the scores right? It's mind-boggling. And you're right. You're 2 hours into it, and you're like, F this. I'm done. And then you come back a couple hours later and pick up where you left off.
Yeah.
The reanalysis stage is going to be harder.
It's all about time.
Well, if we collect the data properly, we could pump that into a database and just run queries.
Yeah.
So the analysis will actually be easy if we record the data right.
Yeah, it's
But we need the operations to do that.
Hey, listen,
I'll reach out to Doug and see if we could get something to automate more. There's a couple of other new developers he brought in that are really keen to get started. There's a young bloke in there who's on fire.
They're not in GitHub yet, are they?
Yeah, so. They are.
Jonah?
I'll go check it out.
There's a young bloke that he's just brought in. He's really keen.
Well, I'm going to tell you now. Doug is going to go through this video. I promise you, he's going to listen to this video. So he listens to
him.
He
was going to try and make it.
He just does it in his own time.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'll holler at you later.
Yeah. Peace out.
See you later.
Hey, for those of you who want to participate, put it on your mind. Put it on your mind around week of 9 or week 10 NFL. Going to Vegas. Just put it on your mind.
It's in the field.
I'll holler at you later, guys.
Take care. Peace out.
Oh. All right. I will talk to you guys later. I got some work to do. I'm a little excited about it. But first, I got some pork chops on my mind. Later.